Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Encore une fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas voulu que nous. Quand il y a Sylvie, il a quoi que j'ai vu prince. L'Amérique n'a pas voulu que tu m'as bien demandé que nous en somme on va battre au moins néo. Mon temps dit est à mon ça va bien faire moi dit quoi. Tu vois là le caillou. Quand on soit du roi. Allez. Envoyez. Battu au roi. Yao, abela lokeyo, nibito jobai, nibito noba, artiste mo peyo. Manager Gigi, moi peux jamais forcer ou si tu connais, tu connais. L'animateur Choco Noska Yassin de Toyebi, l'homme a tout fait pour Mivito, Aniché les deux. C'est moi, Dieu. Attends, nous, bébé. Oui, c'est mon temps, nous, Badio. Mon développé, well, Adieu, dans your summer, de Yabayano. Oh, me, consider, the Munda was talking now. Amunda we joke now, Obati Amunda we joke now, Mosquito goes into a wood alloy. Memo can know, Abela we mo. Obati Omoga now, we'll tell you when I'm there. Daniko, yeah, Daniko.
Good evening, folks. Thank you for tuning in again tonight. Labrador Public Radio, Samson. We are here to say we thank you very much for tuning into Labrador Public Radio, because your support for the Labrador Public Radio is very important. and we want to appreciate you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Let's continue to support each other in this community. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me welcome all of you. Um, welcome, folks. Thank you for coming. And we will do our best here tonight to have some serious conversation. I want to say this here to all my brothers and sisters. Please share this video, share it to as many people as possible. The Libra is here again tonight, and we will have some conversation. Please share this video to as many people as possible. And we will have to ask you to share. Again, folks, Samson to Labra Pabrito. Please, excuse me. Again, I want to say thank you very much. We have some little technical issue here that we'll try to address as well. Thank you. Safety, Lord Jesus. Lord, thank you. Clear our heart. My Lord, we want to thank you again this evening as we come here to face you, my Lord. We say, we ask you to bless us, guide us. As we come through again tonight, we ask that you continue to bless all of us. Give us long life. Whatever it is that is troubling us tonight, take complete control. Whatever it is, those that are not able to be joyful tonight, bring joy to their life. My Lord, people pray to you and ask you for forgiveness. Ask you to bless them. Ask you for riches. Whatever it is they're asking, my Lord, please help to stabilize the situation. Help to bring pressure to these people's lives. Thank you. We know that whenever we come to you and ask, you always bring happiness to us. Thank you. Thank you for strengthening our mind. My Lord, I want to thank you again tonight for strengthening my mind. That at this age, the people are still begging me to work, begging me to do more. Oh, yes, you bless me. Your blessing is it's unbelievable. Somebody from Toll Town here in the state, people are asking, begging to do more, for me to do more jobs coming my way. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the strength. Retirement is not my passion right now. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the strength, my Lord. Thank you for strengthening my brain. Thank you for strengthening my capacity. And the more they come, I will bless you. I said, thank you. Thank you because you give us the ability to think. You give us the ability to do these things we do. And you allow us to do it well. And because of our work through you, people appreciate and continue to ask us to do more. Thank you. Thank you for the boy from Total here in the state of California. Oh, yes. You're the only person. Thank you. And we will do it through you. My Lord, we ask that you bless the Republic of Liberia. You bless the people of the Republic of Liberia. My Lord, we ask that you bless the President of the Republic of Liberia. Bless his hand, whatever he touches in the interest of the Liberian people, that thing be blessed. Whichever door he knocks in the interest of the Liberian people, through you, that door will be open. Strengthen him. Give him long life. We ask that you bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So again, folks, Samson talked about is on the rise. We're not here to apologize or what have you. The American Congress, they start my show tonight. He will not be able. He ain't able to perform tonight. I know his schedule. Tonight, he can make it. He will not be able to disturb my show. I will talk the sweet about that I want to talk about tonight. The CEO, he able to pour forth tonight, my people. He can make it. My Esther, come quick. Your man is not able to stand to put foot tonight. Your car, Fatima, your car. They enjoy ourselves. The man will not put foot because while he enjoying myself, I can't jump in. He will not be able tonight to put foot. God no escape you. I got you. Again, Samson told Labra Public Radio. He will not be able to pull foot tonight. But anyhow, let's go on to some serious business. I want people to share this video, folks. When we come out here and try to explain, yeah, oh yeah. Thank you, CDC Papi. Thank you for joining. We appreciate it. Wherever God is the mercy God. As long as they blessing the Papi, that's what we want. You ain't got no two way. You can't say I'm blessing you. You're not God. The president Waka will be blessed. But let me go on. So many of you that are watching me, thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Please, this is a platform. You come in here and condemn us. You come in here and disagree with us. Always say, let's be respectful to each other. I'm going to say this again. When I come out here, when I'm making these kinds of conversation, I usually start with my own experience because I've been around. I have been around. And when I was growing up, from the day of E.J. Raw, there were certain things that turned me over to Liberian politics at a very young age. So even the day of my E.J. Raw, going to E.J. Raw to dance, Moga dance, and all that kind of stuff, it didn't sway me from listening to Liberian politics. Liberia. Excuse me, guys. Just 1 minute. 1 minute, please. Oh, I didn't do one thing tonight. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Just hold on. Hold yourself. Hold your horses. We will be on here very shortly. Let me do this here for you tonight. Hold on. Let me put this on, and I want you to please excuse me for a minute while I try to. But why I can't find this thing here? Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so what? Let's put these two people on. Okay, let's put them on.
Let's come together once more and work together once more. Let's come together once more and work together once more. Believe you me, we will rise up for the people to see before our enemy. Believe you me, we will rise up strong for the people to see before our enemy. Liberia, all we want is to come together. Liberia, all we need is to work in unity once more. Once more.
Again, folks, that's how we do it. Those are my two little brothers who usually work together. They disagree, but they respect each other, and I'll continue to celebrate all of them. So let me go back to my conversation tonight. I told you yesterday that Liberia, I don't like this thing here. Let me button mine. Here we go. But anyhow, we young people are too high. So why? I'm bluffing. I'm bluffing. But anyhow, let me say this. When I start with these kinds of conversation, I usually start with myself. So I will say some things here tonight because I've seen some little sibling trying to raise his head again, and we need to be truthful with each other. I've been butting my share because I know that you want to be opening that Alfonso, then they can count on, and then they open their chest there. Yeah. I know that you want to count for people to see my chest. No. Alfonso them, Sissy them, Terry then they can come and wear what they call that t-shirt, wife beater, beater wife or husband beater, whatever they call it. But I can't do that kind of thing. Tonight, because I'm serious to talk serious historical facts, I'm old. So let's go ahead. My point tonight is very serious. It's very serious. Very serious. When we were growing up in Monrovia, the only thing they can talk about, there was just one incident. What a policeman, Clarence David, good evening, thank you for watching. What a policeman shot, what a drug dealer shot somebody else, and he was a policeman. And those kinds of stuff. One incident. Yeah, okay. Say, I can't. I'm too old to call the knee like that. I can't say that kind of thing. Husband, okay, I'll turn around, husband beat up. But anyhow, the man shot, the policeman shot this for drug dealing or something like that. And the news was, the entire city was very sad. One person died. The entire city was very sad. I believe that even Tuba went on air, makes a statement to calm the situation. People were sad. So see, I already shared the show, my brother. I think I did that. Let me share again. I know I did that. Why is it? Why is it not going there? Yeah, because the other one here that new stuff. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, let me see. I can't. My goodness. Boy, oh boy. This is going to be a mess tonight. It's going to be a mess tonight. Sissy, I already shared this. Your name is over here. Mr. Goya is here. So let me reshare. Let me reshare. Oh, okay. Well, I know I share. Let me reshare. And if it doesn't work, I will put it in your. You know what? I'll just go ahead and put it in your text. Then please share it to everybody because look at my watch my call is not cooperating with me. Where's my phone now? Where's my phone? Hey man. Yeah, you see, that why I don't let him follow Alfonso them. Eh? Yeah, the fool laying down right here looking for it. But I still young. That was someone says a cow. I've said some ridiculous stuff. Says there. I can't mind it, papi, man. I got the phone here. Eh? And then I'm looking for it. I'm looking for the phone. But at the same time, I clean and I will continue to clean by the blessing of the God of our Father. I will continue to clean. That Alfonso them myself will put 4 to 4. They're not leaving me behind. What I look for a phone, the phone in my head. I can suddenly put it. I know many of you can do it. I get a phone in my ear. I'm looking for it. So I'm trying to send this thing to you. So please just bear with me, my brother. Just bear with me. So because I got some serious, say, let me, okay, right there. So just bear with me, say, please. Where are we? Okay, copy. Say, just because of you now, I'm really completely out of whatever it is. So let me share this. But don't rush yourself. Let me do my tabata before you count in. Say, I beg you. I will send it to you, share it to everybody. When I finish my tabata, it's not going to be too long. I will tell you, say your count. Because I need to set the ground rule on the tabata tonight. Okay. And see, I looking up and down. And here we go. The other one down and the other battery's down. Okay. So Sister Yeti comes, please share it to Terry and everybody else, please, if you can. But let me go on, folks. Sister, I just share if you care. But I will tell you when to come here bigger. Let me enjoy myself small. But anyway, so on a very serious note, growing up in Monrovia, I was involved in 1979. I told you this story before. Okay, from start to finish, I was there. Okay. 1980, I was heavily involved. I didn't shoot anybody. I didn't take any I didn't take gun. I wasn't at the march, but I was aware of the situation as it was going on, as discussion was happening by the 17 members. I was involved. Information came to me about one of the participants who happened to be my little brother, and we were in Monrovia. My father and mother in Town. So that same week, there was an incident. If you remember now, that scene at the end of 1979, there was an incident in Zaire where the French soldier was killed by a rebel, and the French decided to retaliate, and got Congolese soldier Zaire soldier were all in the street dead. So my brother told me this. I started paying attention, but we started seeing things moving. I wasn't fully on board because I thought that was ridiculous. But what he told me, which made me to say, okay, God is there. How long will we suffer in this country? And here's the interesting thing here. My brother grew up in Total. He also saw the way the people were behaving towards people who didn't pay their taxes. And I didn't believe, I never knew that stuff affected him so badly. That when you're listening to Prince Johnson, he and Prince Johnson then joined the army together, but he was little. He was very, they kick him first, they went to join. Prince Johnson then make noise. They used to laugh at him in the barrack. Before me, Prince Johnson, I know Prince Johnson then very well. They used to laugh at him in the barrack. When they want to join, they say you are too small. So they kick him out. They said they can't take him. He came back to Town. My father said, if this is what you want to do, you got to go back. So he went back. And luckily for him, he met this general. So the general said, this small baby want to be him. They'll put you in there. If you can make it, you'll make it. That's how he became recruit. Very small. I think he was around 14, 15 the most. Not even that much. Not even that much. Not even that much. But anyhow, when that thing affected him, so when he came to Monrovia, all along he became very, very serious. While I was doing EJ Raw and things like that, you will not catch him around that kinds of stuff. Life for him was to see the Liberian be better. My cousin that used to be behind the mansion, we used to go visit her. So he saw the way people were being treated. Let's put that aside. 1985, after the election, by that time I was out of Liberia. The way I was kicked out of Liberia, not easy. It was not easy. You see, I've been around. Like I said, what they all do to me? What y'all do to me that has not happened to me? Eh? where you will do the block that has not happened to be. So, anyway, since I was going to bring you in, my brother. So, 1985, the scenes are Johnny now that were President Wakao, the man who would not even call Samson today. 1985. He was member of the Liberian Association leadership in Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island. There's another guy they call Sam Colley who was their president. So Sam Colley asked me and Sir Johnny to go with him to EULA conference in Philadelphia, 1985. Tom Woyu was the president. I keep saying it here. When we went to the meeting, all they wanted to do, the group that came from Atlanta, many of them was from our brothers and sisters at Nibadian. They wanted Doe out. No matter what. If it means war, we'll carry war. Samson told, said, Doe and his people, of course, I was not even in favor of Doe being president. You know what he did to me. So I really don't pay attention. But I'm from Granjide, and I made that clear. I said, when y'all leave from here and go, yeah, right now, Samson told, oh, yeah, no, that Samson told, yeah, that Samson told, yeah. But when time comes tomorrow, y'all will not tell people in total your excuse or we're going to Zwadru. Crown man will always be crown man to y'all. He even finish my mouth. There's a guy I will call him internet. They call him at Kana. My sister husband. Kana. Amos Kana. Amos Kana. Amos Kana was coming to the EULA conference dressed all white. I remember that. White hair, white hat, white I don't call it suit with white manigo slipper. They said, remember, when I enter, got a door spy. At that meeting, they played the tape where Doe saying why people accusing me about Ellen Johnson Salif. I got nothing to do with her. They played that tape. 1985. And I told them, when you go, Doe and his people will be there. Those are men. They're not small children. They're not gonna run away. They didn't listen to you. 1985, we saw Tomaku, my own friend and brother, the guy who helped me to get out of harm's way in Liberia, was killed in Liberia. Another friend, they call him DK Wansley. He's dead now, from Nima. He came to Canton, Ohio, where I was. We have a serious conversation. He explained to me about the situation in Nima, about General Drew, Charles Drew, who also happened to be someone that I knew, because I was in Rhode Island when he came, and we had a friend of mine had some sort of a gathering for him, and I made a statement clearly that if what we're hearing in Nima County, if it is true, then we need to change course. So he told me the people shot my own son in the stomach. The story are there, records are there. Go check it out. We move on. When they're ready, war didn't just come to Liberia. They have what they call Nima Ray, another fiasco to bring people together, but go up and calm down. Liberia was not going to be safe because those that was dislodged from that position, they were going to be determined to get back. Either way, they step it. I don't have it, you can't have it. But the situation today has changed completely. When you listen to the different social media, people are arguing. Everybody taking side. There is no middle ground. There's no middle ground. Nobody said, let's find solution for our problem. Unity Party accusing CDC of stealing in the past. CDC accusing Unity Party of stealing now. Nobody seeking the interest of the Liberian people. None. Oh, then Unity Party people. But look at President Waka, he's doing well. Of course. Of course. But I want us to go a little bit deeper into our society. President Baka and his government, they're on top here. But let's go into the root. Liberia, we cannot afford to have those things losing. Look at us, my people. One time, I went to Gabriel Cinema, right opposite Rochester Cinema, downstairs. And I got in, I grabbed me, I got no shirt on, I tell I'm tough. So one guy said, get up and sit down. It's just begin. I said, tell you know who to sit down. The punch that man gave me for calling him man. The punch he gave me, I couldn't even see it. I didn't even know how I got out of Gabriel Cinema. You never touches anybody's mother. I said, say what telling me today. We sat here in this country, in America, every evening. We gravitate to what Key, insulting somebody else's mom. But those of us that love our mom, none of us open our mouth to say, "Fwant." Marcus becomes some sort of a play toy among women, among men. That's who we are. During the war, I wasn't in Liberia, but story that you will hear from those that participated in the war, they will point out somebody because they have some issue in the past. Say, oh, that man, that criminal. No question, you're done. That's who we are. And that mindset of take no prisoner is as ingrained in us. It has ingrained in us that we, the people of the Republic of Liberia, we'll call those days we used to call ourselves indigenous. We are the one that operating the country, and yet still there is no relief. There is no relief. The expectation of all Liberians is so high. But there are certain group of Liberians, sophisticated young Liberians. They want to be rich at all costs. No matter what. When they find their way in the government, they leave, they're not looking back. But those are the people that we always have to come and lead. The society, our country. You know, Churchill said something one time back in 1981. He said, the people you're killing, they got relatives. You think somebody's son you grab in a street because you're a policeman or because you're X, Y, and Z. You think that person fall down from the sky? We sat here in this place and people every evening, we go to Prophet Key show to watch him cuss. No other discussion but cussing. All of us are so guilty. It's unbelievable. The society, we cheer people who they will not debate issue. They will insult easily. And the way I see insulting business is that when I'm engaging you and you lack knowledge, you don't have any conversation to debunk what I'm saying, you will insult me. And here's the thing about the insulting business. Because in order for you to cut somebody, you will have to raise your anger level to a certain position. And then when you finish, you have to calm down to a certain position. That's our country. That's our country. We're going downhill. I believe we're going downhill. I don't see in the political terrain, I don't see savior. Those who have the ability to bring us together will not be elected because they're not playing the kind of politics that will bring them to power. Lie to the Liberian people, they're not going to do it. They will want to be truthful. But at this point, are we, as Liberia, are we ready to accept the truth? This is why the failure of President we have really, really hurt some of us. Because this young man sacrificed so much to put the name of the Republic of Liberia on the world stage. You think to play football that small thing? You have to be disciplined. Drinking, no. Woman, no. All kind of yama thing. You stop it. You have to be disciplined. Be disciplined. And you carry the knee Liberia. You think President Weah could not have turned French citizen and play for France? Or even Italy? He didn't do those things. Liberia was always with him. And then when he came to, this is why it was so hurtful. And many of these sedition, they don't understand it. They think we just criticize him because we hate. No, I don't hate press. I told you guys before. In my opening year, you saw the soccer. I was coaching soccer in Kenton High School. Going to school. 2 kids, married. So there was no good job. So the people used to give me, bring back a pusawa to me. Because why? I'm from the same country as George Weah. They call him George Weah. They don't even call him Weah. They call him Weah. You know George Weah? No, I have heard of him. I know of him. Oh, okay. My mom said yes, tobacco rice. Yeah, you know, you like the parboil rice, and hopefully that will do good for you. Oh, yeah. Y'all give me. I did it back in his name. So why would I turn against him? But when you are put in a position, I thought President Weah would have said since that, my goodness, I'm here. This is the country that when we were destroying each other in Monrovia, and this is not the first time I'm saying this, though. I've said it before. When we were destroying each other in Monrovia, killing each other, he used to come sacrifice himself because he could have gotten killed. Come to Liberia. And the day President, by that time, George Weah open, when he hit Monrovia, people put their guns down to come watch him play. And was given the opportunity. And because of some greed factor around him, and he couldn't continue, decided to derail this young man's ability to lead. People will say, well, he got leadership. No, my people. If you play football, the position President we are playing, if you play football, it requires technical thinking. It requires technical skill to be able to do what he did. Think about this. And many of you can go and watch football, watch his game. Every time when President Weah would score, especially header or bicycle kick, by the time the man foot touched the ball to cross, President Weah would time it. By the time I get to that spot, I will be there without being outside. You think the man's stupid? What kind of stupid? You can play that kind of thing? Many of you put it on the field right, you'll be outside whole day. You even know when to outside or not to be outside. That technical skill. But when he was given the opportunity, we didn't see it. That was my argument. That has always been my argument. Let's move on. Those of you that are in power, yeah, you got the money. If anything right now, you will run. You can't escape. What happened to thousands of Liberians? What happened? We're going down that route again. Nibare. We're not there yet, but we're inching our way. Let me show you this, and I'll bring in. Sissy, you can come in, please, my son. Thank you for your patience. Let me show you this. You see this? This is the man that was being accused of burning or setting fire on the Capitol building. The story is still out there. Not clear from the police, from the national security forces, what is really happening to him. Nobody cared. I mean, not that they don't care, but we need no clear understanding. And every one of us, either you defend him or you against him. You know what Flanty Kofa is right now? I don't think he's in Liberia though. If he is, I don't know. This young man, my understanding, he has a medical condition. This young man, my understanding, has been with Flanty Kofa when he was in 7th grade. This young man have family. Yeah, we inching our way. We inching our way. Oh, we inching our way, and it will be very sad. Oh, my brother, what I did to myself today? I even put the which one call? What kind of business is it? The people even know who liberal. This is my name, that liberal. Okay, Terry, say if you guys able to get that. Say if you get that stuff, please share it to as many people as possible. So we inching our way. Let me go back again. Because of politics, we sat here. Ah, yeah, Liberia. Liberia. Look at the way CDC were treating Madam Salim when she was president. A mother. A mother. Look at the way they were treating her. And all in the interest of politics. In the name of politics. We brought ourselves to the level. But of course, we're coming from war. The fog of war was controlling our thinking. I'm not too sure if I have. Okay, if I get echo that the other. Yeah, sorry. If I get echo, sorry, sorry, Victor. The fog of war, our mind was not quite clear. Those who wanted political power could not see that those were Liberia, Yokato, Washo, the fabric of the nation. If it's not holy, you will not succeed. Bring $billions in the country, you will not succeed. Only the people holding themselves together and respecting the rule of law, including respect for each other. Respect for each other. They don't in this government, they have no respect for each other because they don't even have meeting. When they cabinet meeting, after that, they don't talk to each other. And that's why you see them stepping over each other like this. This one doing something they want to know. All they know is where the money coming from. Liberia, we're inching our way. We're inching our way. Up to this point, since 2003, no real street lights that you can count on 24 hours. No real street water. In the day of October, on Ken Johnson Road, they got government toilet all over the city. Water are running. Allah, my people, they got government toilet all over. In Monrovia. People used to get up in the morning to go and clean the street on Broad Street in Monrovia. In Monrovia. Wallasai was not as congested as it is now. Look in your own country. Look at the people in real life. What they're doing over there now. They're selling. Who's buying? Everybody's selling. Who's buying? Even if you're going to have that kinds of stuff, why must it be done on the public right away? Because we have no respect. We have no respect for each other. We're inching our way. I'm not speaking politics tonight. Tomorrow, when Mr. Soka will come back here and defend my I won't alligator. We're all guilty. Every one of us. Nobody is above the board here. Every one of us guilty. But we must recognize that among us there are some intelligent young people who feature that we are destroying just because of the money. You want to be rich at all costs. You are destroying the generation to come. Their future is what you're messing with. But then the people say, but I will be gone by then. Let me enjoy myself now. Yeah. You can enjoy yourself. You can enjoy yourself because you have arrived, as they used to say. My man, we not arrive. Oh, yeah, you have arrived. But at what cost? We used to have Lamco. We used to have Bon Mine. In those places, many of the soccer players, and I will bring soccer because myself, I used to play football. Many of the soccer players, not me now, the Google one them, people like my mom said, they used to go to Lamco to go play. They used to go to Bon Mine to go play. But they played against the European, the other Germany folks that work for Lamco or work for Swedish government. They go play over there. I watched some of the game in Yekepa. They used to have what they call cold story in Yekepa. In Yekepa. Liberia. Are we there again? No. No. What is happening is that we are inching our way backward. Because you see the issue about this, Sister Goya, please join me. Sister Goya, please join me if you're listening. Please join me. Tell the madam the puppet need you. Terry, tell the madam the puppet need you. I want you to join me. This is a very interesting topic tonight. And because you guys are the young people. I think Terry and I talk about it earlier. When you're young, you're most likely going through a lot. Because here's the interesting thing before I go on to my other story. Many of you that are young have come over here and educate yourself. Highly educated, working, you're making money. Don't get me wrong, you're making good money. But who among you that when something good happens in your circle, your work circle or whatever circle you're in, okay, who among you that don't feel that whatever good that is happening around you, that cannot be happening in Liberia? Every one of you is your thinking and your dream. When you were going to school, when the professor lecture and talk about something that is good, the first thing that comes to mind before you think about your grade is about Liberia. How can this thing be applied in Liberia for Liberians to be successful? And the sad thing is you have gotten a good education. And yeah, in America, they will milk you. We are kaka. They will milk you. They will milk you. Look at me. You know what people told me today? Mr. Toe, you're doing such a wonderful, that way in Eureka, from here to Eureka, 7 hours drive. The bridge job that I show you guys, the job that I'm doing with, they say I'm doing good. They say I'm going to continue to do good. The people who, nobody from Town will ever see that place. Nobody. But they say I'm doing good. They pay me, but they're milking it. But my services that people demand here and they appreciate, when I talk to people like, brother, they don't want it. I'm not going to force them. But that's not about me. It's about how we do good for our country. Look at Rafi Highway. Something that I can do here, design. Within 6 months, I'm done. And you go to construction. People approve and you go to construction. $150 million, $200 million project I designed. Look at Rafi Highway. Look at it. They're still working on it. When I told you, I said that job will not finish until President we are leave off it. You don't believe it. That Rafi Highway will not even be finished until President Wanga leave off it. Because when you start something wrong, you don't do it well. So many flaws on the highway, but it's not about that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is to give the young people the opportunity to help to build Liberia. The young people have seen a lot in his foreign land. Now, look, if you think I'm lying, look at our behavior in Liberia now. Many of these behavior comes from foreign countries, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Sierra Leone, during the war, from Guinea. Everybody came by with different behavior that we brought by from the foreign land. Why can't we do the same thing and let the young people that have educated themselves, many of them here in the United States, they are managing people businesses. They were not steal. They are working on people businesses, making money for those people. The people who run Bicon are the people that are not able to produce here. They come here and go to school a little bit, they find something, they run. Because they are unable to be disciplined and stay away from people's money. So they go back home to work and steal. But it's not about that. Liberia, they say, is like an elephant meat. You take your own, and the elephant can't die. You take your own, you go, the other person can't take your own. So when I was growing up, there used to be a story in town. They said there's some kind of fish. When it ready, it can't beach itself. So the people cut. When it go, then it can't beach on the other side. So the people cut. That is saying that what we will be doing for Liberia. This is what we're going to do for Liberia. But that's besides the point. Many of these young people, the sycophants, are the ones that are killing us. They're in a position, they are unable to produce. So when it comes to national security and what have you, they think it's a threat. So they try to milk it so that there will be love. If the person set fire on the Capitol building, you've been having him now for more than 1 or 2. Why is he not being charged yet? Why is the young man up to this time has not been charged? I haven't seen it. He's a suspect. He has not been charged. Why? Look how many people holding a young man. These people. This amount of people of the police, of the security apparatus. You mean you don't have people to do the true investigation and find that yes, indeed, this young man is guilty and charge him? We're sinking backward. We're sinking backward. I'm saying to you again, this is not a good place to be. We got different Liberians. You got some of us who here working, and God has blessed us, giving us the opportunity to work hard, and will continue to bless us. But there are those brothers and sisters. They're working as well, but not in good faction. And so what do? Many of them campaign CC. They run back on the wrong campaign. They are not running campaign for nothing. They run a campaign so there will be notice. And as soon as the government, if the government is successful, can you imagine if Kumi I have been selected, being elected? 70,000, we know what the result is still. You see where I'm going with this? So the point, I don't see anybody in the back. Okay. All right. I will just start my own tonight. That's fine. Okay. It must be rescue number 1. Oh, okay. Rescue number 1 is here. Thank you, rescue number 1.
When you're using the rescue, better not put my knees. I would have put my name on e-mansion.
Thank you for joining. Cece. I'm very concerned with what is happening in the country tonight. It's not about President Waka. People know where I stand with the president. I support this president all the way. But the security issues, I'm very concerned because of the past experience that I have seen. Many Liberians myself made nothing, Mr. Toll, don't worry about it, everything under control. But some of us that have seen these kinds of behavior, yeah, rescue number 2 is on board. Oh, I love it when it comes to rescue like that. Rescue number 2, good evening. Thank you for joining. Yeah.
The bishop here.
Yeah. The other man can't count. He ain't able to count to now.
Mama is going to talk about your man Kugaba. Your man Kugaba.
You know what I'm gonna
Okay, let me learn Terry, then you can tell us about Coca.
No, I just kidding you. I don't want this.
Okay, all right. So the point here, before I bring in these 2 young gentlemen here, is this. Many of these young gentlemen, just like Sissy, like Terry, have educated themselves. They're making money, oh. Don't get me wrong. And you go visit some of them, you go visit them, they can't fool you will eat. You will not believe it.
Neighbor, do not put in trouble here today.
Okay. Okay.
They get people to stay back to call for money.
In the bike, why you think about it? Terry young like this, got family. Sissy young like they have family. Why are they on this platform every day? Because people will see them. They come here and stretch their vein because Liberia is all we have. They know that they have something. If the opportunity was there, they will be able to contribute positively. But nothing. The people, let me say it again, most of the people, and I could be wrong, but most of the people that run and go over there are people who are either retired or people who try working here, but they don't fit in the system. They are not able to produce. So, they run. My point tonight, before I bring in Sissy and Terry, I believe we're sliding backward. Not as fast as we did from 1985 or so, but I think we're moving backward. Our judiciary system is not helping us. Our national security apparatus, these are the people that really started the problem because they wanted to protect the hair nacho those days. And so they will go after anybody who consider themselves to be the critics. They come after you. And they come after you with lies. And by the time you're able to redeem yourself, look how many people on the Doe administration. How many people that went to jail and were found not guilty. Most of the killing that Doe were doing were people, the army people. He didn't do a lot of civilian killing. Most of the civilians that were accused they were always let out. But this is what we have still. And I'll play I got 2 more videos here, but let me go to Sissy. Sissy, my argument tonight is nothing about politics. I want us to actually look into it. I said here earlier, and you and I, we talked today, you brought it up, and I decided to make that part of my conversation. You didn't say it, I'm saying it now. We sat here in this country, all over the world, and allow Prophet Key to change the conversation among us, civilized people. We allow Prophet Key to insult President William from sun up to sundown, and every evening we're anxious to go see what kind of costs are coming from here again today. And we didn't say anything. We were not able to say anything. This is what we are. We saw CDC, as you correctly pointed out as well, we saw CDC playing a political game with Manaf Salif, insult, a mother of people's mom. We saw that because in the interest of politics. These things don't end well. Sissy, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Is my Tabata off mark again tonight as usual?
No. I think when you lay the premise that this is not about politics, I think this is no longer a tabata. Actually, it makes a lot of sense. We're talking in the back about this. If we're just taking off, our political allegiances and everything else, and we're looking at who are we?
Yes.
And I want to be truthful with you. I'm an educator, but I've struggled with that. If you ask me on any one day, who is a Liberian? What defines a Liberian? Not because you were born in Liberia. Like what are traits that define us? I would tell you, arguably since 1985, maybe before 1985, maybe 1980, some people that go there, but I would say since 1985, we've gradually lost what our people knew as the way to conduct ourselves when we disagree or we have different opinions and the way to do things. So I'm talking about all of the things that happened, the civil unrest since 1985, the challenging of Samuel Doe and the coming back and everything. And then we took on to this thing where you don't resolve stuff anymore the traditional way. So like I asked you a question when we're talking, right? We don't respect our culture. So we say we're not traditional people no more. Hey, old people, they're going to go to that one side. But we don't respect civilized decency either. So then where are we? Right? So gradually we've lost a sense of what it meant to be Liberian. What is that one thing you hold on to, or those two things you hold on to that makes you a Liberian? When we were growing up back in the day, and when I say back in the day, I know it's not way back, but it's still back in the day. If I just look at one old man in the community and say, hey, you stop playing football, when I just look at how we cross our small. All she gotta do tell my Oma come where I look at how we cross our, kind of whip you out, gonna be joking me. Right? So I knew that even when we were living 11th Street, when we went to Satan to go play soccer, on the whole day, we used to go Saturday, Sunday, you're there playing for Tomato Cup or you're playing for Chloride Battle Trophy. You over there, you cannot spend anybody because the whipping will follow you all the way to your Oma in the whipping there. Right? So it was never fashionable. There were people in our community who were just smoking regular cigarette. It was enough for a grand boy can smoke cigarette. The people kept you away from that. Fast forward to today, and you rightly talk about the popularity of people who use social media to insult other people, right? The prophet who is now running to industrialize Nima County, right? And even your own son, who started this thing in a wonderful way, ended up at a point where people are using Sanama Swan to identify themselves. We are the Sanama Swans. When I was going on, Sanama Swan is an insult.
Yeah.
When did we start to glorify that? And I would like to see it a lot of times to my brother Collins, because with all due respect, we joke around a lot. He has another perspective, which is the religious part of it, which is the part that deals with the morality, right? How do we get back to the place where I can disagree with you, Collins, and I don't have to insult your mom to make my point? I can disagree with any female in the political theater, and I don't have to insult their womanhood to make my point. And the only way I become popular does not and should not be because of my ability to invent new insults. Right? It's almost like we don't celebrate people for their ingenuity in solving problems. We celebrate people for their ingenuity in insulting people. Here's a guy at NPO, for example, Dr. Nyan Doba. This is an accomplished scientist. We've never celebrated that guy to the extent where we celebrate people who cause Marcos. So if I'm a young child growing up in Liberia, who's my role model? It's Mr. Samson who understands construction. They can talk to you about bridges and road work and everything. Instead of a young brother like Terry Collins that can talk to you about what it means to have a moral compass and still has something else he's doing. He's not just depending on I go Sunday, I collect this thing. He got other hustle on the side. He has his family together. Is that the people I want to be my moral compass, or do I want somebody who, when they stand and when they put their Facebook live on, in less than 10 minutes, they get 5,000 people watching them, and they can insult people. And if you take it from Liberia, you bring it to us who are living in the US, us Liberians, the fact that Facebook has now monetized a lot of pages. people now have a financial incentive to be disrespectful and immoral and to violate every sense of decency, because the Facebook pay you for likes, for interactions, and for watches. So if I hear cussing my uncle, you can cost me on my page, or you want Facebook paying for interaction. Every time you post your thing, I get paid for it. So I am more when I get paid in my bank account, I get encouraged to come back here and be the most obnoxious person I can be. Right? And so my question again, I come back to is, what defines us? All of us that whether you were born right before 1980, 1985, all of us that were minors in 1980 and 1985, going forward to the 1990s, what defines the Liberian? Because I know the older generation understood what it meant to be a Liberian. There was a moral, what's the thing? A moral side, a moral definition for what it meant to say that boy, it come from a home. It didn't mean that your house was in a fence. It actually didn't even mean that both of your parents are living together. Right? The community came together to make you come from a home. So when people used to say that boy is self-read or that child is self-read, it meant something. It doesn't mean anything anymore. So I will stop there because I think Terry has a lot to add to this, just because, and I want to be respectful, because if we're talking education and math here, I'll be all over it. But I think Terry has a unique compass, and I think he has a lot more to add to that question.
Terry, let me bring you in here. The question for me and the talking here is exactly what Sissy have said, but I try to wrap it around with what is happening. Terry, run away.
Yeah, Terry. Worked on using the same Wi-Fi now. That the one that to CDCO compound. So they're taking the wire from there so it can be spinning. Yeah, so can be call me, then I cost me. So
he's back.
Sorry, no, Terry, all the Koga Wi-Fi that is
So again, Terry, when will be the best time, or are we coming back, or we sliding back with all of these security apparatus and all of these stuff? Before you make that, let me play this video that really some of these things that are concerning to me. It's a very short video. This is the guy that was arrested. I really don't know the detail, but you could hear his supporters saying, "Don't fight them. Don't fight them." And then he started blaming the police for certain activities. Now, if he was a thief or a murderer, he wouldn't have been treated like this. He would have been handcuffed with two police, secrets, plain police on their side. But the way you know that these people are somehow politically connected, the crime or whatever it is have to do with politics, the amount of security people that are around him taking him out. So Terry, let's talk to me a little bit, because this for me. All of these things have to do.
What a video! Who is this guy that you just showed?
This guy, according to the story, I believe he's the somehow is the person that started an interview with the accused. How do you call it?
Guy from
yes.
Fire something from Fonati office.
Is that a family member that was accused?
I'm not too sure if he's a family member.
Yeah, but there was some network says the family member, he made terroristic threats.
Yeah, something to that. But the people around him, you could hear them say, "Don't fight them. Don't fight them." I have one other last video I'm going to be playing, but Terry, go ahead and help us out here. and help us out here. Where are we going with these things? Even forget about this video that I just played here. But where are we going with our behavior as Liberians? Because with this kinds of stuff, we're not going to be successful. And the opportunities among us will continue to use these type of situation to gain wealth because you're not paying attention to it. Go ahead, talk to her, my brother.
Well, I think there are so many factors responsible for that. You know, the socialism, the new form of socialism taking over the world from what Sissy said, the globalization of the reset of the mindset through social media and all the kind of thing is playing are factors that play into the action and attitude of the generation we're living in. Because like we were born in the 70s, like I was born 1979, and you can compare it to
1979. You were born during the World Race Riot.
Yeah, that one made me high.
When I was already
that the man responsible for the rest riot. Going forward, like Brembo, I'm gonna know. And then that Terry was needed for the rest riot.
My man, I was baby, but I would be doing that. That time I think you were 5 years old.
Your breath for the rest riot.
You were born in maternity center.
Yes.
But today, anyone exactly. See, I would say that your breath the rest. You see today we know now who all caused the problem, like, bro.
Yeah. Terry, you were born in maternity center for real.
Yes, for real.
Oh yeah. Maternity center.
Yeah. Go ahead. The long birth certificate.
Yeah. 19. Let me see where. 1979. I was hanging with Moga band, bare bottom, polyester bare bottom, high heel shoes. That was Samson too.
I don't want you to be dancing in the club with your
You
have afro.
Of course. I said bare balance and you say afro. I beg you, afro. That was the thing.
With the shell halfway open.
And the hand beat like that. The color of the shirt say you wear. You don't even know who you are. Man, say, I beg you, man.
I then look at my dad picture, and he has some pictures for those days where I say, you know, that shoe looks like a woman's shoe right now, right? I said, that's not women's shoe. I said,
what? And you know, when you walk in the street of Montreal, I said, life is those shoes. Say, you go and look for metal to put underneath the shoes. For what? I don't know. But the thing was, when you're walking in the sidewalk, and they call it you're eating your bone because the sand on the sidewalk and the shoes with the metal on it. Man, say, man, go ahead. Y'all making me want to go back to the 7 day again. But go ahead. Oh,
yeah, man.
I'm still 29. I'm still 29 years old. But go ahead, Terry. Please take us back.
No, but you are looking good for your age. But labor, yeah. So there are a lot of factors that are responsible, and whether if we are going back soon, it have to do. Like I was saying today, we need a strong opposition to put back our government, to put the government on course. The bad part about it is that the new generation did not learn from you guys, because you guys too play a major role in not sending to us the real patriotic form of advocacy. That was Sissy was talking about, all these guys and things. What did we learn from the progressive? You know, what we learned from them. What did we learn from the Moja boys? Because this is we nursing from the milk, from the breast milk we drank of the past. You know, the strength of the child depends on the breast milk from the mother. So the message that was sent down was not sent down properly. So that is what this generation is running with. Take, for example, the UL. Every now and then, the militancy, the UL politics, you know, that have come down from up. What they're manifesting is the breed from what they generated. So how do we rewire the mind to thinking different? How do we do that? We can only do that by our generation forging another path by forming a strong opposition or a strong political group of advocacy that will redirect the story. You know, like I was saying, we don't have like the impasse now that went on. Where is the opposition in all this? We only have Spoon TV. Why the people can't believe in Spoon is because everybody know that Standard Waterspoon have his issue. So even though he's speaking on things, but the moment he starts to speak much, we will turn him back. We will send him back to his past. We will remind him that he's not correct. So thereby, we found an escape route to justify that it is good to steal or it is good to do the wrong thing. So what we need is credible men from the opposition that will formulate a strong opposition, not allowing the CDC again to be the face of the opposition group, that will begin to advocate in the right way to redirect our minds to how we need to channel our advocacy for the benefit of the rights of the people. The impasse that went on, we don't see any opposition. They are now, we keep giving the government latitude, tenure position. We don't have a opposition that is fighting that. So we keep giving this government latitude. And many people say, President Boga is a sleeping man. But in the soonest time from now, what if President Boga continue to extend his tentacles? Will you have elections coming and all of that? Then we are setting our country up for a bigger fight because we don't have opposition that is changing the narrative. So the people who are available, they become the opposition to direct the minds of the people. And like what you guys are saying, once you get on social media now and start cussing, that one other guy just cussed the entire Grand Bassa County. it put everybody in some position.
Gary, everybody talk all Gary today. I've been watching that. Say, okay.
Yeah, everybody running all over the place. I think Yombi Kanga Lawrence too was saying people should unfollow. But the problem is these are the guys that tapping the minds of the people. They're messing with the thinking. When people go on social media, those are the people they want to listen to. Those are the people they want to watch because of the content they create. You know, so about the social media age, it have changed socialism into a new dimension. And I don't know how we're going to compete with that. To be able to compete with that, you need to bring in a vibrant group of people, positive thinkers, who are able to channel the narrative in a positive way. Once we don't have those kind of platform built up, you will always have setbacks. You will always have setbacks in this kind of thing. And the country will not really be able to to yield the results we expect. You know, that is just my candid opinion. Well, because the religious circle is not helping either. You know, you go to church nowadays, somebody will just jump on the pulpit and say, "Oh, sow seed and your blessing coming." They don't. Before the religious setting, we have Sunday school where people will go to Sunday school and they will teach you moral life. They will teach you how to live. They will teach you how to do things and think morally. You grow up from a child to in Sunday school. They have writing. In school, they have writing. Unfortunately, today we don't have writing, disciplining. So all those things have been eradicated, and now we are left with counselors that are counseling us and telling us that the way we want to live should be the best way. So they are changing our entire social moral IQ. And I think it's having an effect on the society globally. And now, worst of it, they got social media. They got OnlyFans, something they call OnlyFans, where people just.
I mean, get OnlyFans, I come from. The pastor don't have OnlyFans.
But we heard about it. I can see people talk about it on social media.
Bishop got OnlyFans, I come from.
No. I didn't say that. What I'm saying is they got OnlyFans where people go there, they do a lot of
Bishop, me ask you a question. My pro and Dr. Pastor can save Balangua. I didn't know the man for that one. And Moro Coffee can raise it there. Pro, where only thing now, so we can go advertise it to where only thing you do.
Me, I'm not raising there.
You're LPR.
Yeah, I'm not raising there. The people can already say,
you raised some critical points on a serious note. But let me ask you a question, right? If Mr. Todd doesn't mind, let me ask you a question. You talk about advocacy, right? So the way we do advocacy, and I want you to look at, you were talking about the issue of the speakership. It's died down. It's like we've become, we have attention deficit. We're looking for the next thing to come off us to run up to it. But if you think about people that were in the forefront of advocating for COFA and for the rule of law, and they all died down. And people usually want to do advocacy in Liberia lately for how much I can get out of it. Yes. So how do you even envision, first of all, creating a civil society that is trustworthy, that is made out of people who are not in it for the next position into government or what I can get to build my house? How do you even start that? Because I agree, a strong civic society, a strong opposition, because every executive in the world always wants more power. They will always stretch their hand, and it has to be a strong opposition along with an independent judiciary that says, no, you can't put your hand there. But every executive won't put their hand in the cookie jar. Somebody got to be the one to say, no, you can't put your hand here. But the people that are supposed to say, no, you can't put your hand here, or the people that are supposed to tell the people that the cookie jar open, be careful, or man, you won't put your hand in the cookie jar. Those same people are in there for themselves. When they get one government position, they get 10,000, they are better than the people. So how do you envision that happening?
So go ahead, Terry. Go ahead.
Like what you're saying, Sissy, talking about it, we can start there. We can start to get to talk to people, competent Liberians. Like all these shows we bring people on, there are competent Liberians in America here and other parts of the world that really want to contribute their quota, but they don't know how to do it. We can get them to come in to keep talking. Credible Liberians with integrity can keep talking. Let me tell you, a strong voice can change the narrative. We need strong voices. Today, who knew Stanton Waterspoon? Stanton Waterspoon came and invested into the country during CDC time. And based upon his investment, he rose to be number one. And the only thing that is the glitch in his life now is that something that he got with a corruption scandal. But other than that, Stanton Waterspoon was risen to be number one voice. Just one man, Henry Costa. If Henry Costa had not slipped, or if Henry Costa, guess what? Henry Costa would have been the voice today, changing the now. There's a man that could sit down on the radio and tell people to go protest.
That comes back again to my compromising, right? People who get compromised in the process. So like the Henry Costa, he's done, right?
Well, yeah, but he can revive himself. But we always have to let's give people second chances. Let's as he ever asking me about OnlyFans, blah blah blah, bro. When you get on social media, I don't know if you can watch somebody.
Bro, I tell the truth. If you get a page on OnlyFans,
no, God forbid. I don't watch. But I have listened to people being interviewed on African American platforms. I go on all the platforms. I see women being interviewed, and they are very educative. Wherein they bring these women, they begin to explain, and pastors there are there telling them that these things are wrong. So, but again, when you talk about this thing, pastors can talk about relationship, and they go deep. They can talk deep things in relationship.
So we hear you. Leave it alone. We hear you.
I will speak tired.
Terry, let's get back into this, and then I'll come back to you here. But let me play this other video, which really concerned me today. Let's watch this other video. These are grown men who I believe left their family from the house and came out in order for you to be able to use that kinds of language in public. You have your level of anger have been elevated to a certain point. For you to be comfortable to cuss, you have to elevate your anger level to a certain point. You can't just, that's one of the things, and I was side by small. When I used to play football, I always chew gun. Because you can't be chewing gun and start having confusion. When you chew gun, you're smiling. And then you produce the best sack of business on earth when you chew gun. But you can't bite to this video that I just showed you. It's concerning. Democracy is an idea. And it can be challenged. And when that happens, things can go south on us. And I'm just saying here again tonight that I'm hoping that under this president, these things will try to be at least brought down to a specific level. Why these people are so angry like the infinite temple of justice? That means there must have been some rule. I don't know what about this. I just saw the video. But that means there must have been some ruling that they were not, they said Supreme Court rule, but the police were not accepting the ruling from the Supreme Court.
And what's Supreme Court rule about?
I don't know. You heard it, man. But here's the issue here. You are not an officer of the Supreme Court. If you feel that the police are violating the Supreme Court rule, go back. You got lawyers in Liberia. You people collect money, pay the lawyer, and go back to the court for which you think the Supreme Court. That's how the situation is going to be settled. But for you to come out, you want war, we'll get your war. Okay, man like that, he got arrested. He got family. They're not going to let go free. I'm saying there will be, if you start some sort of a serious protest in our country and one person dies, you got issues. And I don't know the way forward. I really don't. Because we have, look at him cussing the president in public. Yeah, you this is freedom of speech. Yeah, whatever you want to argue, that's fine. But if you have the decency, if you watch him, when he was getting ready to cuss, his demeanor changed from so-called quiet to another level. Because that's what we used to. We saw people insulting leaders of our country. And there's nothing any of us would say. This for me is concerning. But people will say, Mr. Toh, you're just being hyper. This is nothing. So let's hear from you again, Sise, on this here. Then we can bring in Terry. Guys, I will soon be opening the line. So
I think watching that video, now nobody can tell somebody don't be angry, right? But how do you channel that anger so that somebody respects you in the process? Because you want people to listen to you. We are a traumatized nation.
Very true.
And unless we take that seriously and look for ways to offer support, we're not going nowhere. You will find it even on these social platforms. I will tell you this. There have been many times people have come into my personal inbox to insult me and my family for opinions that I offer on this platform. People have insulted my mother in my inbox for opinions that I've offered on this platform. What gets you to that level? What really drives you to that level? And for me, when those things happen, it's a good thing. I was teaching in high school here for a long time. I look at it as, we teachers, we got students that are on special ed, special education, they got IEPs and stuff. I look at you like, you got some learning disability. So I'm never gonna take on that. I'm gonna let you say what you gotta say. Sometimes I just say, okay, thank you, and sometimes I ignore it and I keep moving. But if a seemingly respectable person to go from 0 to 60, that quick and that fast. And I know you could see the cameras in front of him because you can see him acknowledging with his eyes the cameras in front of him. And I don't know if he understood in the moment that this would be broadcasted for other people to see it. All I can say is that when the wars ended and we had all of these resources and we had all of these trauma healing programs all over the place, we didn't do due diligence by our people. We didn't do well. We were only focusing on people who actively took guns that could volunteer to come versus people who guns were taken against, or some people who just have the historical trauma. So we're a traumatized nation. We need to find a way to handle that. And we have to deal with that. We don't deal with that, this thing is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Because I can become a superstar by just being very. If we were cussing on this platform every day, Mr. So we'll have more people watching us than what we have right now. If you came on here and just dabble in conspiracy theory, you get more people watching you. So your question to me is, just let me and then you ask that question. But if this is this really respectable person doing this thing, imagine what's happening in our classrooms in Liberia. Imagine what the younger generation is taking from that. If I were his son and I went to school after seeing my dad's display, you think I wouldn't display that same way, even worse? We're a traumatized nation. We have to own up to it. It is not his fault. Really, I think he's dealing with issues that have not been dealt with. And he needs support. And like many people in Liberia need support. So I won't blame him for that outburst. I just see it as a cry for help.
Let me ask you. I know this is not your area of expertise, but I will. But on an educated person, perhaps you can give us little glimpse of what you believe and what you think is happening. Do you think the fact that we all agree that Liberia is a traumatized nation, but do you think that behavior, that trauma issue, is being channeled through the political sphere or through the political condor, and is showing in our political disposition?
Well, so I wrote something on one of my Facebook feeds the few days, and I was asking about what are the way our educated elite, the way they handle issues, whether it is just a psychotic manipulation of our people, because they're very smart people who use these people. They know what buttons to push and what buttons to press. A traumatized person is going to act out in ways sometimes based on what radio station you're tuning his or her dial to right now, and you get that reaction out of them. So I really want to be truthful and not to be disrespectful to people in Liberia, but I really believe that there are a lot of people who are being used without understanding that they're being used because they do not have control at some point in time over their ability to understand that they're used because they've been traumatized and we have not given them their support. That is, for me, that is how I see it. And I think we have to be truthful to ourselves. There are people even in America here. Because so, have you seen Liberian people in a gathering having a conversation? You know, I hear people talking about football game. They will be yelling that they're coming fight, but they're not coming fight. There you go. You know, I hear somebody talking about politics. I remember a dream where I was 1% with all of the race and we're there between CDC and the Unity Party. You will see people when they're talking about the politics, you will see them shaking and trembling, right? That trauma is there. I mean, so even us who are here in a developed nation that have not sought the therapy, we're still dealing with that trauma. That is why Liberian men will get loud in a minute. Liberian women will get loud in a minute or something so small. It goes from 0 to 60. And until and unless we start to really intentionally as a nation seek therapy, a national therapy for our nation, I don't think there's anything that can fix this problem besides that.
Sorry, let's come to you. Can good old knees on the church bench redeem us? Asking for forgiveness and prayer, true prayer, respectful prayer, and believing that yes, indeed, God can redeem us. Can we get that redemption, you think?
Yes, we can. There are many other nations in the world that fought war and they got over the trauma and they move on. Even the great United States of America that we have today went to war, but they move on. People move on from the trauma of the past based upon it giving them a new direction that replaces that trauma. So everybody have something, but something must replace what the trauma or what you're going through. Something have to replace it. And once you can find a sense of a sense of belonging, something that makes you feel important to society, it can easily replace that trauma. Like some of us who moved from Africa and came to America, and now you're working or you go to school, you learn something, it have replaced the message that you were
But
told.
but that is not true healing, though, is it?
Well, you first of all, you got to be willing to work on yourself as an individual. You got to be willing to say to yourself that I am going to make it work. Because to be good, it depends on you. To be bad, it depends on you. But you must, to do that, you have to expose yourself to an environment that is able to pour into you the right message that can change your psyche. Once you don't have that environment, because a person becomes a person can easily becomes a person based upon the environment they are locked into. So your environment can contribute to your degradation. Your environment can contribute to all these things. But yeah, the church can play a major role. Forgiveness is something that God does for everybody because everybody in the world have seen one way or the other. But everybody have to work on yourself. Even the Bible talk about renewing your mind. You have to constantly renew your mind, read books, you know, get yourself involved with information, go to school, learn something, you have to replace your psyche with some information that will channel that aggression into the right perspective of where you want to go or what you want to see yourself. But like the picture you just show and the video you show with the guy being aggressive, and all of that. Liberia, like I said the other day, I was saying something to somebody that we got four kinds of people in Liberia. The first kind of people are those who gravitate to individuals. The second kind of people are those who gravitate to political parties. The third kind of people, are those who gravitate to, on the basis of
Caller,
interest,
just hold on. We'll come to you as soon as Mr. Terry is done. We'll be coming to you.
on the basis of interest. And the fourth kind of people are those who just don't care. They just flow with the wind. Anything comes, they accept it, and that is what it are. And that is why we have people in a society who will never go to vote. They will sit home, they will talk about elections, they will not vote. They will not participate in the process that will give them the leader that they want. But they will talk about it. They will say it, but they never contribute to change. You got people who are willing to contribute to change, but you have to give them something to contribute to help them contribute to the change. Then you got people who will contribute to the change on the basis of the person they like. Then you got people who will contribute to the change because of the political institution they belong to. So dealing with these four categories of people should have different strategies of approach towards these four categories of people to replace that mindset with the mindset of patriotism. So all these people are angry because they have all taken sides. You started the show with a very fine point where you said that if you look in our political landscape, people have taken side. There is no middle ground. That is why I heard you say, and that is true, and that is sad. There is no middle ground, and the people who are in the middle ground, they don't contribute to anything. Think about it. How many people vote in our election? They're going election. We are 5 million people. How many people voted for the people we have in power now? How many? That should send a signal to you that we have a serious problem. And yeah. And I think all embedded into traumatizing, like what Sissy said, some people will not just vote because they got a conclusion in their mind or in their psyche that nobody will do the right thing.
Thank you. All right, Walter Carter, let's hear from you. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Let's hear from you.
Thank you, Mr. Tour, the celebrity, my brother Sissy and Terry. How you guys doing? Great conversation. And you know, the last talking point, I will a little bit disagree with my brother. You know that we are a traumatized nation. And because of being traumatized, we can't force forward. We just do things differently. I think prior to our civil war, people use our people to do things on the behalf of politicians, and they become a norm in the society that people can agitate regardless any way. They don't respect the rule of law. They don't respect people in leadership. They don't respect even people who are not in leadership. So and it got worse after the Civil War, when more of these things are happening, militarizing our young population, or the youth, and calling militants and all that. So I don't want to believe it's actually from the war that we've been traumatized. I think we are being indoctrinated. And this thing is about politics. When you see people agitate like this, it's all about it boils down to politics. Take, for example, it started with the University of Liberia, where you got people who could not face the government, the politician who never had a spine enough to stand up like men and women and face the government. What they did, they used the student population to go against the government. When the whole group, the Moja, the PAD, all those people, when they could not get their way, they still push the narrative through the student government. They still push it today. Larry Tuba sat at the University of Liberia under the previous administration and incited our young people at the university to go against this government. Now his government is in power. See what the very young people that he incited to this very government that they brought into office. They're doing the same thing.
Let me merge this caller, please. Hold on. Okay, Walter, go ahead so the other caller can come in. Go ahead.
And yeah, like I said, in the policy. So look at Rwanda. Rwanda went to civil war. Millions of people died in Rwanda. People move on. They had no system of de-traumatizing them for going to school to change their psyche and all that. Africa had a civil war. There are people moving on. I was alleged Africa 7 years when they were fighting the war. They go to no de-traumatization in the whole nation to treat the poor man. Guinea had war. Guinea moving on. Liberia, the only place you call people on the street, causing the people who sell, people who didn't even live in Liberia during the Civil War. We stay outside and pay somebody to cost the president man, a dead man, and everything. People who even stay in Liberia and came from Liberia and went to school here, we sit in America and pay another person to insult the president mother.
Okay.
President Henry Costa, I never saw our Civil War in vis-a-vis some of us. Henry Costa was sit on a platform and cost Ellen Johnson Sally, Baba woman cost President we are. So these, in other way, they were leaders that young people saw, so they followed them. And these are things we got to talk about.
Thank you.
People who were considered leader should have good utterances when they come out. You know, back in the days, like in the American media, since they were back in the days, you could not go down there and swear. They will blink, I had to call it blink the audio or something like that. But today, it's open. Now, not only on the media, they swear anywhere. They swear the president, they swear this person. So it's just a common practice, and I think we need to talk about it more than when we come on this platform. Instead of us talking about the issue, we start to attack personality and lie and say mean things to each other and mean things to our leaders.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me go on to the next caller. 214 number. Yeah, go ahead. Clarence.
How you doing?
Not bad, Clarence. Good evening. Thank you for joining. What's on your mind?
Well, thank you for the topic tonight. The topic is very important. You see our community, like Liberia community, now even like Liberia community in America here. Look at our women here. They go on the social media. How they cost one another. Women. We know about the keeper, he's a king for it. But the women, our Liberian women, they look down on one another in their country. So where the moral of the country has gone, I don't know, because The Bible says, bring on the child in a way that the child will not depart from him. If we are Liberian, in the past, you said it from the beginning. When you are a child, when you go out, even when you saw somebody, word that that's how come from your mouth. If the whole man or other person in our community will discipline you before you can get there, and the parent will turn right again, discipline you. But this year it's not happening again. We need good leaders. We need people with good character who will bring the country back and get into normality. When it comes on the, like people have said it on the show many times, we don't honor good leaders. We don't honor people getting like doing something to improve the country. We can't even talk about it. Like our sister talk about Dr. Nyan for Intel. You saw the Sunday newspaper. Just go to Sunday newspaper yesterday. They made 3 personalities. So the ministry was feeding 11 cars, government cars. So people who try to bring in sanity to the government or sanity into our community, people will not talk about that. I don't see a fit. If we want for the country to really improve, we need all the good people in the country. Not only America, even in Canada, in Great Britain, to come down. We can qualify Liberia that can transform the country. But what is happening in our country? The few handful of people that are in power, they see that those guys cannot lay a job. When they come down, they will take their job. So as if you live for your short thing in our country, they will fight you any kind of way. That will even let all the leaders in there to be able to present your credentials. So these are the things that are happening. I saw that other man abusing and they say that kind of thing. So if you say that kind of thing on media, and your son watch a film or see you say anything, when your son a beater, will you be able to discipline that child? It's bad for our nation.
Thank you.
We need to, Mr. Doe, only discussing our country. I don't know where our country has gone. We need to really seek ask God for protection, but God can really get the spirit of God and come out of our country. Thank you for your show.
Thank you. So let's come back. I think that will be the end of the conversation on this topic. But let's come back to you, Sissy, and then Terry can come in as well. It seemed to me that we still have that in us to be genuine and to be caring. I think it's still in us. But the thing that are supposed to come and awakening that feelings in us is what is missing, I believe. We are very quick, it seemed to me, to jump into defensive mode and to quick to accuse others of bad behavior and not looking at what brought in that bad behavior and what was our own responsibility in that bad behavior coming out. So I truly believe that there's something there still. There's something there in our country still about us that perhaps if the leadership themselves recognize it, they can help to redeem. Go ahead.
So to my brother Wilton, I don't think you understand what it means to be traumatized. I don't think so. Because if you did, you will understand that for me to say we're a traumatized nation, it doesn't mean that everybody in the country has to go through therapy. You talk about places like Rwanda and Ivory Coast. They have programs, UN programs for trauma healing and trauma counseling. You should check it out. That is the fact. There's nowhere on this earth people have fought wars where you murder your neighbors and you murder your family members and you didn't go through counseling or therapy and you think you'll be okay. Nowhere on earth. Even in these United States, after the Civil War, 100 years plus now, there are Black people after slavery who stay are traumatized, and it's called historical trauma, where you get it through your bloodline. And we deal with that in the schools. And so because of those trauma, government policies get formed that either perpetuate that trauma, exacerbates the trauma, or handles the trauma. So when we're talking about a trauma of a nation, and one of the problems, and I agree with my sister Esther, one problem we got as Liberians, we don't even believe in therapy. And that is our big issue we got.
Yeah, man don't do therapy. Men deal with their problem.
Yeah, that is why our children, even when they come in this country, they struggle. We as men and women are here, like the brother on the call talked about the behavior of our ladies on the internet. Those are all due to trauma, unresolved issues, unresolved trauma. Why would somebody who will hear me speak on this platform and say, I support Tewan Gonglo or I support Joseph Boakai, feel that they have a license to come in my inbox and call me and my wife? Who normally does that? If it is not because of some unresolved issues or some things you don't have control over. So I beg you, my brother. So, you know, and I think this is what is affecting us. This was affecting us. So let me talk to you about something, for example. The LU problem. You see, where we fail as a nation most of the time is when we see something happening, we copy it. We copy the beginning, we don't copy the end. We paste it. We did it with our constitution, 34 Constitution for America, we pasted it. We did it with democracy. We want multi-party democracy. America that wanted democracy, they got two. And in some places, some small one that can try sometimes to be 3 or third party or stuff, right? But we got 15,000, right, in Liberia, right? So when you look at the university, the use of university students, the civil rights movement here in the United States, they utilize university students for sit-in. If you remember the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, which is where the likes of Johnny Lewis, former the late Representative Johnny Lewis, that's where they came from. H. Ralph Brown, that's where they came from. The Student Nonviolence Coordinating Committee was used to pressure the government of the United States into making sure that civil rights legislation was passed. After that, there was a process for winding that down. When we introduced when militancy was introduced at the University of Liberia, it was not only for Liberia. It was also meant to push the country into fighting in South Africa, in Namibia, and other places for liberation. That is why the likes of Suzuku and the likes of Moja, used to collect money to buy arms and ammunition to support. That is the reason the likes of, there were people like Biko and other people that visited Liberia. Because of that. What we didn't do was we didn't go to the end to say, after that, now what? So now our young people that are coming through the ranks of the university still see that this is the only way to solve our problem.
And this is the only way they can get into government to enrich themselves.
Our problems have modernized, but the solutions have not modernized along with it. Right? So they're still stuck in their way of saying, you know, we can, because when these guys came from the Eastern Bloc, that's how you got things like the Politburo, right? The Politburo of the of soup, right? All of those things are from the Iron Curtain, right? And they brought them to the university. And sadly, there was nobody to say after this, then this, after this, then this. So when you look at, and I'm gonna be very brief on this part, but when you look at even in our churches, I was just with the Lutheran Church in Liberia conversation we had on a Lutheran platform, because I'm a Lutheran. And I was telling them that one of the mistakes we made was that we never transitioned from a mission ministry into being an independent ministry. We always depended on the mission church in the U.S. to send our money, send our everything. So all of our budget on the people.
Full around.
So we had LTI, we had all these Zozo Korean Hospital, Phoebe Hospital, and everything. When the mission churches stop giving to us, LTI is dead. Zozo Korean Hospital is struggling. Phoebe is struggling because we never quite learned how to become adults.
To sustain ourselves.
It's the same thing with advocacy. We've never learned how to transition from student politics, student advocacy. Students still have politics in America. When I was in grad school for one of my programs, I was on I was a student senator for the grad school. I was a senator. In fact, most recently, there were a lot of universities here where students sat in because they were protesting the war in Gaza, right? About divesting. So it still happens. But the frequency with which it happens in Liberia, I think we haven't learned to modernize our advocacy at the University of Liberia. That is the problem we got.
And just to piggyback on you before I go to Terry, the thing about it is that the student that did the sit in and what have you, when they became older, they were able to channelize whatever they learned into a positive development for their community. They were able to continue that type of advocacy, but not as a sitting, but as a way of improving your community. Whereas in Liberia, when these student leaders, once they get to a certain position, they will then gravitate towards a political leader and try to run your campaign with their big mouth because they are sophisticated. They know how to talk. That's why they made them student leader at LU. So they come and open their mouths. When you get elected, you employ them. They make the money and become rich, forgetting to know that that is not the end. Let me bring in Terry. Terry, give us. You can wrap this up into your closing as well. Where are we going? What will be the end result on this here for us? Talk to us, my brother.
Well, again, it boiled down to us continue talking. We need people that can talk. We need people with a gift that can speak to the minds of the Liberian people and that they will listen to them. That is all. We need talkers. We need people that can carve the mind. The revolution in Liberia took place by few men who thought they knew what they were doing, but they never knew what they were doing. Like what Sister just say, you know how to start, but you don't know how to finish. Was there a technical mechanism as to how to finish? Certainly not. So as a result, everybody failed. You brought a master sergeant who was just a master sergeant who did not know about governing power. He had no technical skills. He didn't know nothing about it. The only thing he knew was to be a master sergeant. And you gave him an entire country. What you expect him to do? Obviously, it's going to traumatize the entire country. Like, Sissy is right. About traumatized and being traumatized. Why did it come with the DDRR program? You know, and the DDRR program only targeted those that held guns. So what about those who did not hold gun and watch? I was 11 years old when I saw somebody kill, or Prince Johnson rebel kill somebody in front of me because he went to loot something. Up to today, that still have an impact on me. You know, and sometimes it brings fear for no reason. So, you know, and all of that. And the man causing, it came from the war. During the war, those rebels used to insult your man before they kill you. And to show you that we need to be de-traumatized, it is now in the society as an accepted fact. We enjoy it, but we do not know why we enjoy it. The reason we enjoy it is because it came from the war. It was normal during the war, so it's normal now. I rode motorbike in Liberia. The motorcyclists, they have a way of causing people murder. Like, for example, you riding a motorbike or another motorbike crossing in front of you, the motorcyclist will cause your man. And the people sitting down in the back will enjoy him. They will not rebuke him. They will like it. The reason is because it's transferred from the war. That alone tells you that you need to be de-traumatized. So I think that is also some of the problems too. And we need stronger civil societies to hammer this in our heads, to travel the length and breadth of the country, rewiring the minds of our people into how to address. You know, we need to bring back our culture. We need to reintroduce our norms that we have from the past that were good, and the ones that were not good, we take it out. All right, like we said on this platform before, we need to do that, and that, I believe, will straighten the thing. We need to redirect our political or advocacy. We're doing well that by allowing people to have freedom of speech. We need to do that more, but our freedom of speech should not be all about being vocal, rude, disrespectful to one another. You start talking something now, somebody will come on your comment. They don't know you from nowhere. They just are abusing you. There was this, you open your podcast, somebody will just go on your podcast and just curse your man or curse your pa. or they will just abuse you or say anything. They don't care how it make you feel. You don't even know that sometimes one statement or one comment can live for a lifetime. Why sometimes a child will grow up and never forget the thing that the stepmother told them. One word or 2 or 3 sentences or statement that can traumatize a child. So think about it. Every comment that you make under somebody's post can lead to them becoming traumatized because you don't know that person's background. And people don't care in Liberia. They just say whatever they want and they feel that it doesn't matter. You know, because they want to, once you don't support the person they like, they feel that they want to say something to you that will hurt you. And they don't know the aftermath effect. They don't even care. But one comment can destroy the life of a person mentally. You may not see it in the action physically, but after several years, it will manifest because the mind can take things. But so yeah, that's it. And I think the show was good. And I think we can work on it by allowing us to continue to talk to our people. We need to talk to them. We need to keep talking. We don't need to get tired. Go to the villages, talk, churches, like what a guy named Bishop Michael Francis. Bishop Michael Francis was one of those Liberian advocates, Bishop Anokula, right? These were guys during the political season. People say, oh, you're Reverend, you won't be in politics. During the political season in Liberia, these people spoke. But the thing that really get to me is that majority of the presidents that come in Liberia were Christians. They came from the church. But why didn't they do what the church teach them how to do? They were not able to transform the country. Look at America. Majority of the American presidents, they came from the church. You know, even though Sisi got a problem with that. But majority of the American presidents,
the church was not a supporting platform for many of the ongoing in the past. There's still ongoing civil strife in this country. The church was complicit. If you listen to some of the people, if you read some of the article, the church were complicit, especially the Southern church. How you go to church Sunday, the next day they make man myself, we can't drink from the same fountain because the man blind. But in the Sunday you went to church, oh God.
They used to have lynching Sundays after church. After church, the Baptists go and lynch.
All your presidents for 200 years in America, they had a church foundation.
Yeah, we agree with you.
So that's why. Even Liberia, but why is Liberia? And let me just say this. I believe I listened to one. I'm about to read a book now, trying to order from Amazon. That's talk about Liberia being. I'm trying to get a name. Liberia being an America. Liberia is one of the 51 states. The 51 states.
Who wrote that one?
I will leave it because when I'm finished reading it, then I will send it to you. Okay. But Liberia is America. Liberia was established by America to be an American branch in West Africa.
Okay.
But Liberia was established in America. It was established by a few people, colonization society, a few people in the social club. They started together. They didn't want the outside children there for the web them to know that outside children was sent to Liberia.
So become what? So why are you carrying the people flag? You carrying one star. What is one star?
Now because the outside children when they don't know better, they don't know what the woman was happy say, so they get the thing.
Give us a closing, please.
The woman never answer PC that time. There was no lofa woman there. That was also that time lofa or not even.
No one says happy that's Saju. You know, the woman never Saju then. So
I think a wonderful conversation we get. We're not going to. We're not through it somewhere. So give us your closing before we get out.
You know, me and Terry, we can feed off of each other. Terry knows exactly where to go, so we can feed up. But look, man, I look.
Look.
Terry struck a point.
Hold on. Since here, let's read this here. See, no, look.
I saw you. I see you. I saw you.
You know.
Esther, they're not that kind of comment I'm talking about.
No, but she, it got to her.
No, Esther, Terry, that come and not crying about that thing. So I saw him the last time in the check parking lot. The next one was 20 minutes crying on me about that. So then when you're finally down to him.
I beg you, yeah. My man, Esther always on the show and she chat, she talk, and that's it. But I'm not talking about what kind of comment, Esther.
There are two sisters on the show. I can always enjoy their comments. She called her friend to the car. I know 1 year today.
Yeah.
I know Esther like me, so
on a serious,
she's a cool person. So
Terry struck a point about the man cussing thing, right? I remember one of many used to have to talk about their zeki. I don't know how to do it. Right? They have to curse somebody. You got to curse. And now that is sitting to this. And I'm here thinking about, yes, I could be wrong. Maybe we weren't collecting data as accurately as we should have. But the war, the sexual violence that accompanied the war has lived after the war. The increase in sexual violence, especially rape of minors. I don't know, Mr. Toe, when y'all growing up, but maybe I don't know because the data doesn't exist.
That in the village, serious conversation. When you are caught behaving like that, your zipper, they cut the zipper and they sew the zipper with you know what, and they sew your you know what I'm talking about. They sew it along with your pants. You will never do it again.
So the thing is, there's a lot of things that accompany it. Some of those things were there. The war accelerated it, exacerbated it, whatever you want to call it.
I agree.
But the issue of the prevalence of sexual violence and rape and the insult and the moral degradation of our nation, I think it got put on steroids because of the war.
I agree.
And I'm not here to excuse that those things are not happening before. I'm just saying the frequency, and that's what I think Terry is talking about. Like that frequency is just way too much. But again, I will come back to my training. And I think the way to resolve this, the way to have a control, not to resolve, but have the control of this thing, is to go back to the schools, our K-12 schools.
That's true.
We have to put counselors in those schools. Terry struck a point. I usually disagree with Terry on a lot of things. But when guidance counseling has to be culturally authentic and culturally relevant. We're doing right now in America right now. We don't counsel African American kids the way we counsel white kids because there's a cultural affirming piece. So when we want to counsel our kids in Liberia, we should not be using westernized expectations, right? There are ways to still do that. But my point here is even in the classroom, Terry, if I cannot allow you to finish your point, we're solving math. 3x plus 5 is equal to 7. You solve your problem. You show your answer. The first thing we do, we don't give you the chance to even articulate why you got an answer. And for somebody else to come out and have a counter argument, say, here is how I got mine, and this is how I did mine. So even here in the U.S., in Minneapolis public schools to be exact, one of the things we're teaching our kids right now is called mathematical practice number 3. It's come from the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics. It says, I can construct a viable argument and I can critique the understanding of others. That is one thing that we lack as adults. You'll find people on platforms, somebody say their things, instead of allowing that person to construct the viable argument for you to critique it, that man question coming. Or even some people don't even know how to construct a viable argument without even the man question in the first place.
Right.
So there's nothing for you to critique. So we have to go down from our kindergarten and start teaching our kids how to sit amidst discomfort, how to sit. You see, a mark of a schooled person, of an educated person, is how you can sit still amidst intellectual discomfort. Allow the person to say their thing. I know sometimes I'm guilty of that. I work on that too. How to allow somebody to say the most rubbish. Allow them to learn. Ask some questions to allow you to understand from whence they come. And then you form your critique and you come back respectfully. That doesn't happen. That is why when you have the likes of Serena Seaforth go on the campus, instead of the university students allowing him to speak, or Samuel Tua go there, they don't allow him to speak, and for them to hold them accountable and critique their understanding, they take rocks and chunk the people. Right? So I still believe that we have a way. I mean, maybe I'm just too optimistic, but I do think we have a way. I don't think it's all lost. But it has to go back. It has to go back to making sure that we have culturally sensitive, culturally relevant counseling of our students and of our teachers, and the way we teach our kids on how to listen to opposing view, to things you find uncomfortable, and sit in that moment with it. That is the hallmark of an educated person. How do you sit still amidst an argument that you don't agree with, and ask clarifying questions in order to form your own opinion?
Thank you, Cece.
I think you wrote about that reform of the school stuff the last time. That was a pretty good piece.
Thank you, guys. I think I truly believe that many of these attitudes and things that characterize us now as being don't care person has always been there. For example, when I was growing up, they have what they call, I don't know the English name, but you throw iron. You have people holding a stick like that to block your iron from going through. You take the part of banana, put it in a hole and cover it up. And you have the iron, the rebar that shipped into, long stuff. And you try to miss those stick. And it's a point. But if you go through that dirt and you hit the banana, the words you use to take that iron out, they're not what you were using in public. Because of that, they don't let you throw iron in the middle of the town. They take your throwing iron basically way behind the bush. So the women don't hear your talking, all your thing. But those things, they've always been there, but people knew how to guide against that. Our folks knew exactly how to guide against it. So but this is what we have, and I hope that our leaders, those that are in the society that really care for that country, will try to do that. Look, we're traumatized. Look at President that incident with what's his name, the guy who he says stole his car. Those things happened way back, almost 30 years or so, and he met the guy on a presidential function. He said, "Yeah, remember I stole my car, and where you coming to here?" You listen to that?
That's true. That's what trauma does to people.
You think as soon as he laid eyes on him, all along he been seeing the guy, but this time he got power now. He laid eyes, they went boom. Those kinds of stuff.
And liberal, where you think it came from? It came from his upbringing. He was abandoned. That is why people get angry with President Weah when he do some things. But you can't fully get angry with him when you know his story. Because the man was abandoned.
That's the thing.
Struggle
to attract attention.
Yes. So that trauma, until he can deal with what happened to him, he's
let
not.
leader one.
Let leader one before they come out.
Sedition hasn't cost tonight.
We talk about your iron situation, and I'm going to end real quick. Have you ever, Terry used to go to Lofa Country, you ever went to the pit where we beat palm nut?
Yeah.
Lofa Country? In Lofa, you can't cuss in the town. The one place you can cuss, the one place you can see all the rules on. After the pit, when we're beating the palm nut, got a big pit, a bunch of men with stick, will be drinking. Women, when they're there, that means you dead that day, your ear black. Most times they will cook the rice, the food, different place. The women will only bring the food when they come out and announcing we're bringing food.
When they come in, they go cool. So you will know they're bringing food.
The cook and eat, but they will tell you the thing you do at the pit, it stays to the pit. Once you leave the pit, you are no longer covered by that immunity of cussing. The cussing goes nowhere else, but because there's a bunch of men there, you're beating up under the son there, so Baba son in there. When you're doing it only at the pit, because they have to control that. You don't do that anywhere else but at the pit.
You don't sing that song when you're brushing as a group brushing. That song out. That
song stay to the pit. Where you're making the palm oil. you know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, I think one of the things we'll continue to do here from time to time is to come up with these kinds of conversation. Tomorrow we'll be here for different mindset.
Tomorrow I get to run campaign. And I carry either governor now. I carry the prophet running to industrialize Nima County.
Who the prophet is getting again?
Prophet Key.
Prophet Key.
You hear what he said? you hear what Prophet Key said?
What the man say?
Oh, he got to introduce.
I saw the man.
The man said when he wins, he's going to Israel. Tell Israel that the lost tribe, the down people, they're over there. You're bringing the Israelis for them. I'm not bringing you up.
Okay, guys. Thank you
It's
very
about
much.
it's about to be fun.
Yeah, it's about to get heated.
Yeah. I just hope he doesn't start cussing. Let him stay.
They say the belly go brain, so happy to the beer. If I
okay, so say thank you,
All right,
guys. Thank you
I'll
very
see you
much.
tomorrow, man.
All right, okay, let's be at say Terry. Thank you, my brother. We appreciate it. Again, folks, Samson told Labro Pabrito. We've been having some real fun here tonight. And basically, we have to manage ourselves. We can't go outside of Liberia to borrow people to come and manage us. It's not going to happen. We're going to have to dig deep inside and make sure that, yes, indeed, Liberia is for all of us, and we must do what we can for our future generation. With that said, Samson told, I'll say good night to you all. Good night, folks.